Hello and welcome to this special show of the Defense Scope. A lot has been happening in the Rajouri Poonch area as we speak. A new Corps commander has already taken charge, and there is a investigation that is on by the army as well as the police into the tragic death of the 4 soldiers in an ambush in Poonch, as well as the death of 3 civilians. Now, you would have read a lot, you would have seen the political versions, you would have seen the army version sources. I have done multiple stories on this at ThePrint. But today we're having a special guest, and the special guest that we have is Colonel Amit Kumar. He's a retired colonel of the Indian Army, and he belonged to the JAG branch, that is the legal wing of the Indian Army, and he is now fights cases in the Armed Forces Tribunal. He, of course, in the civilian courts also, but he focuses on the military law. Now, why I've brought him here is because he's the lawyer who's representing the group of soldiers under 16 Corps who are currently being undergoing investigations by not just the army, but also by the police. So we want to speak to him to try and understand what really happened from the perspective of the soldier. So welcome to the show, Colonel.
Thank you, Jai.
Jain sir. So what is currently happening? While of course I've done the report, we were the first ones to report the fact that the brigade commander has been moved out. So has been the colonel of this particular Rashtriya Rifles unit. Besides, of course, the 2IC and all. What is the status of the probe as of now?
The status that the court of inquiry is going on. We are aware of the incident which has taken place. And I'm just giving them advice because at this stage, only I can give them a legal cover. I can't be present there to defend them. This is not the stage. It's a preliminary inquiry, which is a court of inquiry, which is a fact-finding tool for the commanding officer or the competent authority to decide as to what action is required to be taken and with respect to the military attributability of the case. So right now, it's only that there is a provisions of Army Rule 180 in case the character and military reputation of an officer or troops who are involved in that is under question. So this is the time when I got call from the lady, and as well as I have spoken to all of them. They have given a wakalatnama also, and I've told them what all limited rights they have at this stage, and accordingly, with respect to that rights, we are going ahead, and the probe is going on.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. I have an understanding there are actually 3 probes that are undergoing. 2 by the army, 1 by the police force under the CRPC. Am I right in saying this, sir?
So far, I am aware. I think I am not aware of the civil investigation, but yes, I am aware about the army investigation. There are 2 inquiries which are going on, and that was the point I took it today. When I received a call from him, I just informed the army authorities because what happened when a person is under Army Rule 180, the law is very clear. It gives a proper opportunity to the person whose character and military reputation is under question. Now, over a period of time, what happens if they don't get their right to defend themselves? And till that stage, no one is supposed to be treating them as an accused or giving any or exercising any pressure, inducement, or promise at that stage. This inquiry is very limited, only for the purpose of prima facie case, whether it is established or not. I am guiding them because so far I have got the information as well as the evidence, whatever was in the social media and all is totally different. I will not be revealing the basics, but yes, I may say that our public, our countrymen, our citizens, they should have full faith on the forces. They will not do anything, and they're not criminals. They will not do anything which will affect the image of the army or which will let the citizens down. They have a lot of faith on our forces. And in this case, what has happened? They have mutilated our bodies. 2 soldiers, you are aware about these casualties. There were 7 casualties. And the bodies were in that form. And they were these individual deceased for which the politics and politicians are taking advantage. They are not aware that they are on the list. Now the inquiry will bring out all these facts. Only thing is that what I pray that the inquiry should not be under pressure. or just to finish it off, they should go deliberately getting all the records on detail, because if anything happens in this inquiry, it's going to have a effect on the morale and motivation of the soldiers who are operating in different areas. Because we have to hold a hand of our soldiers. They are not a criminal. They are operating in an area. In this case, what has happened? The individual was on the ambush. He was ambushed. When he was coming back from the training area, from the firing, he was ambushed, and they they have they came under a big fire, and accordingly 7 casualties, out of which I think 3 is dead, and as well as 4 is
Four dead and
4 is sorry,
yeah.
sorry, 4 dead, and fatal and non-fatal is 3. But that non-fatal is also in not in that good this thing. Now, if we are thinking that we require to finish off this militancy, then we should have faith on the forces. Yesterday also, I was speaking to one of the media guy. I was telling him the same thing, and I told him, if you require a forces to operate, then give them that liberty. When I say liberty, that does not mean they will go out of way. But when the operation is going on and things are under their control, they should not remove commanders as well as anyone until unless something brutal has happened. In this case, what has happened? They were having the list that can't be revealed right now. Let the inquiry comes with the whatever facts they have. Then we can discuss on these parts. But as far as I am concerned, one should not have any. They should not form any opinion or any recommendation or anything for that particular thing, whatever has happened, because we are not in position. We are not aware of the facts. So whatever is happening is just unnecessarily demoralizing our troops, as well as demoralizing the image of the demeaning for us, as well as it is affecting our image also.
There is no doubt about the fact that the country completely backs the armed forces for whatever good that they do. And me personally, how about my views on the armed forces and the kind of environment that they operate in. But so let's come to the facts of the case. Of course, the fact is that on Thursday, you had the ambush by terrorists on this group of soldiers who were coming back from the firing range. There were about 13 soldiers. 4 were killed in action. Their bodies were mutilated. I'm not getting into the details of the mutilation per se, but those were horrific. Then 3 were injured. Now, the next day, it was the same unit which had suffered the casualties. They picked up about 8 civilians. And there are video recordings of the army soldiers picking up those 8 civilians. Later, it was found the next day, that is on Saturday, 3 of them were found dead. There were injury marks on their bodies, and they were part of the 8 who were picked up, and the others have been admitted to the civil hospitals. There was also a video that came out, a horrendous video that came out of, of them, the civilians getting beaten up by people in army uniform. And then the army, of course, swung into action. As you mentioned that the brigade commander was removed, the CO was removed in the sense that the handover, the charge was taken away, so as to have for an impartial probe. Now, when you say that the facts on the ground are different, what do you mean by facts on the ground are different? These are things that the world and everybody has seen.
In the beginning, also I said the same thing, and I'll again repeat the same. What has happened is these all things are part of the operation. When the operation is going on and you are hitting who are the person. The more dangerous person are the sleeper cell, who are giving all the location, who are giving the timings, who are giving them shelters, after giving them shelters, taking them to the location, guiding them. They are also culprit. When they have a record, the company was having a record of all these individuals. They maintain who are having an active. There is a technical cell, there is an agencies. They have all that record, which I can't be revealing at this stage, as well as it will come in the inquiry. Only thing is that when they have an information and when this thing has happened, they have just gone to pick them up. with their information and they were integrating or whatever, but that fact is not there. Now the video which you are talking about, that video is not of that place. I have spoken. This video which you are talking about is not of that place. That's why I'm saying the video of showing army people doing this thing of not that place where these troops whom I am defending. They're not that. They are the videos of not that place. If somebody is having, go and into the go to the presiding officer of the inquiry and show with a 65 Bravo certificate. Today, what is the psycho-ops? Psycho-ops is the same thing. These all things are planned. When you remember Tushar Mahajan,
Yes.
how he was killed. This is a support, local support. I'm telling you because we are watching all these things happening. When you have a local support of few people, I'll not say all, there are few people who still think and who are politically motivated with some few local leaders there. They planned in such a manner that if somebody is going for operation, the first phase, second phase, and third phase. What you're talking about, the third phase, they have already planned. What I can bring out, what I can visualize as an experienced officer. I have been operating also when I was an infantry officer. 10 years I have that service. The phases are this: first, when they launch this thing, the second is how to give them an infiltration route, and then thereafter exit. And in between infiltration and exit, how to divert the mind of the soldiers, as well as the organization, as well as the competent authority or the ministers or the political leaders. How you do it? You just go sit on a dharna and say that this has happened, that has happened. I'm not saying that it can happen or it cannot. But these are the points wherein we should leave everything on the investigating agencies. Let the things come on. And secondly, the investigating agencies who are investigating the case should not come under any pressure of inducement or any promise or threat also. They should do this independently and see the circumstances, under what circumstances our soldiers are performing the duties. They should not be confused. They should be doing their operations. They are not a criminal. That is why I am again and again, time and again, I am telling the same thing. They are not a criminals. They are the person who are protectors of us. We all of us. They don't have any criminal history. Why will they do so? Only thing is that sometimes something happens. They are not that people who will, get into all such things. Everybody is having a family, and they are aware of by this thing. They can't take extra advantage of anything. That is what has to come out. Under what circumstances this has happened. Whether we are also waiting for the after this forensic reports of Israel and all. Let's see what happens. But making an opinion, bringing out in a social media, the army is doing it. When you know that this video can be morphed, that video can be placed, when we have so many incidents happening. Today is a AI, and there are many softwares who can, just change the things. We should not wait. Let the person who has made the video should come and depose and say that this is my machine and I have taken this video. Of that brutality, what is being shown. And I am telling you, in this, I have said yesterday also, and I'm telling you again. This video, particular video, which was circulated with the name to defame the Indian Army, and it happens always. The Pakistani agencies, psycho-ops, they have got this habit of showing that we are doing all this brutality and all. What about the men who has come here? We are in our land. They have come and they are killing us. And you tell me, under these circumstances, if a normal or common man is operating, what he will do? Everybody is a human being. I was telling yesterday also, they have a family. In Indian Army, they 2 months is only with their family, and rest of the 10 months they stay with the men. That is the family. And that is why the special laws and special things have been made. They have some different type of people we are having.
That I completely agree with, and the operational difficulties that they face, and that's why, each soldier is respected. But the fact is, I'm sure the inquiry will look into the deaths. At the end of the day,
Inquiry and Sneha,
the fact is that 3 people died, and these were the 3 people
they
who
are
were picked
taking
up.
that 3 people. No. Their 3 people died. Our 4 people died have got no value. No value of our soldiers' life.
No, of course there is value.
And that you mutilated. How the body has been. You think that the person who's coming from outside will be able to operate without any local support?
Of course not.
Not, no. That is what I'm saying. Why people are taking it this thing that is a human right violation? Why they are silent on the first day? They have picked when nobody is, having that power, supreme power, that there will be a dean and they are the person just picked up. It is only picked when the proper information is there. There are sleeping cells. They are doing this thing, and they should be held deterrently. Why I'm telling you? Because in this country we should not take any nonsense. What this nonsense of human right? You kill our chap and then stand with the law of human right. Soldiers doesn't have a human right.
Sir, I understand that you're right now the emotional, but the fact is that
the
human
emotion is
do
fine.
matter. That is what differentiates
the question
us
which needs to answer.
from them.
Tell me how many people. Tell me how many people we have lost. How
So
many
that's a different debate altogether. But sir, coming back to this case, if you could tell our viewers what happens now, how does the case proceed? And for example, I had done a story saying that while the police are investigating a case, have registered a case or murder case, and it will investigate, the army has the power under the Army Act to take over the proceedings once the charge sheet is filed, and can carry out his own court martial proceedings also. So what happens from now, sir? How much time does it take, and what are the formalities that need to be done?
The biggest thing which I can just visualize, if they are making a charge sheet, civilians, if they are making, they both have an independent investigating agencies, right? They have a full right to carry out the FIR as well as the investigation on at their own end, and we have our own. Only thing is that when this killing and murder and rape and culpable homicide, these three are the things where we can't try a person who is civilian. Now he's a civilian. These individuals are civilian. If something happens and they come out to that conclusion, prima facie conclusion of the murder as well, culpable homicide, then this case will be fought in the civil court, because army has no jurisdiction under section 70 as well as section 69. 69 gives us a power to deal with these such cases. However, 70 puts a restriction. Then the powers of army section 125, 126 will deal with the jurisdiction itself, which speaks that in such cases they will have to provide the individual. So we'll have to give our individual who will be attending the court in case they come into that conclusion.
But sir, now, second thing, if it's in a service area, if these
just come out, right?
Yeah.
I just come. Now, in the court of inquiry, it is established. This is one part which I was telling you about the civil CRPC. Second part is this, our own court of inquiry. If the court of inquiry found that yes, this was properly operation and it was done in perpetration, it was done in order to while performing the duty, and it was totally optional and there was nothing, then nobody will be charged. This after that, if there is any differences between these two inquiries, then the matter will be referred to the MOD. MOD will be giving prosecution sanction or they may deny. This is what happens in such cases.
Okay.
The army authorities will be concluding on the part of the attributability. If there is no military attributability and they were whatever offense operation has been conducted was totally part of the military duty, then they will get an advantage of the ASFA as well as the protection from the prosecution. This is what. That is why I'm saying everything depends upon the military inquiry by the military people, because they are going to decide as to what has happened in reality. If this is a negligent, there is a charge of 63. Army can go ahead with the 63, section 63, to judicial to good order and military discipline, wherein the negligent has happened during handling of such thing. Or if there is a proper case of culpable homicide, then army will hand over the case to the police. This I am aware. Or murder, which they establish. But right now, whatever I am seeing is we should just wait for the investigation to complete. Our people can't get into this murder and all. This is something which has happened. We will have to wait for the Visra report. Even the civil agency will also have to wait. Civil agencies are not having that evidence. They only have the evidence of picking up. Rest evidence, most of the evidence are there in the army. So that's the only thing is. And if something happens, then I'll try and get the case outside the JNK. Because in such cases, people are motivated. Now, why I was saying, the day they announce the awards and all for those deceased people, that pinches. Why? Because it was a premature decision. The moment you say so, in the atmosphere, you're giving a message as if we are culprit. Let the inquiry submit its report, and then you decide whatever has to be done. If it's a matter of police, but we need to have a strict law. Until unless we will not have a strict law, we will not be able to. Last 20, 40 years, we are fighting on this insurgencies. We keep on fighting here or northeast, everywhere. We have to have a strict law. Either if you are having a military operation, please decide the limit of the military operation. CRPC should not come in. If the operation has to be done in a CRPC manner, then let the militaries withdraw, and then you may go ahead with that.
Well, absolutely, and we hope that this inquiry is completed in a time bound manner. At least that's what the Defense Ministry and the Army has said, that it would be completed.
I wish to make one statement. Today, I received a call from the their officer as well as wife. The presiding officer has certain in what as what was told to me, and they have made a video as well as video was given to the wife as well as to me. So I have provided that video to the. I have told wife to approach the proper channel, convening authority. They can't get into this. Inquiry has to be done in a proper manner, the manner it is supposed to be. You can't place the pressure on an individual that you sit here and sit down, because it says he is still an officer. It's only his character and reputation which is under question, or the soldier. They can't go ahead with anything as if they are accused. It's not a police inquiry, it's a military inquiry. So that's what I just have a faith. I just want to bring out this thing, that if people are listening, please don't get into all these wrong things. Do the inquiry in a manner it is supposed to be as per law and in accordance with the procedures provided in the Army Act and rules. That's what.
Well, absolutely. And I'm sure that the Army will follow the rule of the law and come out with its report in a time-bound manner. And I hope that accountability is maintained, accountability on if anything has gone wrong, and it would be catered to. But thank you so much, Colonel, for speaking to the print. It's amusing that you mentioned the fact that, and you were so vociferous about the fact that the video of the, because that is the video which really set about the whole thing going. And when you maintain that this video has not been shot there, and this is something that you will present in the court of inquiry as part of your defense. So, but thank you so much, Colonel, for speaking to the print. As always, I reach out to you whenever, I have some questions on military law. You're the expert. And thank you so much for speaking to the print once again, sir.
Most welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you so much. Jai Hind to everyone.
Jai Hind, sir.